Jesus did not die on the Sabbath, so it's not the day of prayer. Jesus did not rise on the Sabbath, so it's not the Lord's day. The Sabbath was the day after of crucifixion and the day before resurrection. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. That's depending where you are in the world. Sabbath blessings, one and all. It is Friday evening. Preparation was before sunset. Now we have entered the Sabbath hour. Sabbath blessings, one and all. We're doing the nighttime devotion from the devotional Christ Triumphant, the trial. The title today, He is Risen. Luke 24, 6 and 7. He is not here, but is risen. Remember how he spake unto you when he was yet in Galilee, saying, The Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men, and be crucified, and the third day rise again. The Sabbath was past. Mary Magdalene came early in the morning, when it was yet dark, into the sepulchre. Other women were to meet her there, but Mary was the first at the sepulchre. They had prepared the sweet spices to anoint the body of their Lord. The women were greatly terrified and buried their faces in the earth, for the sight of the angel was more than they could endure. The angels were compelled to hide their glory yet more decidedly before they could converse with the women. The women trembled with awe. The angel said, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Jesus, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen, as he said. Come, see the place where the Lord lay. There was no more weeping for Mary. Her heart was filled with joy and rejoicing. While Mary was absent, he, Jesus, appeared to the women who had come to the sepulchre from another direction. Go quickly, tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and behold, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him. As yet, there had been no revelation of Christ to the 11, and the women went to tell the disciples the wondrous news. Thus Christ made an appointment for a public meeting with his followers in Galilee. Who was it that reminded the women who were seeking Christ in the tomb of what the Savior had said to them previously? It was Christ who had risen as he had told them he would. In this connection, Mark gives a most precious statement that must not be overlooked. The angel said to the women, Go your way, tell his disciples and Peter that he goeth before you into Galilee. What a comforting message was thus given to the women to give to Peter. The last look Jesus had given Peter was after the disciples' thrice repeated denial. Peter was not forgotten by Christ, and this mention of his name signified to him that he was forgiven. The wonderful instruction that Christ had given his disciples was never to lose its force, but they had to be reminded of the lessons that Christ had repeatedly given them while he was yet with them. Remember, said the angel, how he spake unto you when he was yet in Galilee, saying, the Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men and be crucified, and the third day rise again. The disciples were surprised that had not thought of these things before. The title again, He is risen. The Sabbath was past, and Mary came early in the morning to the tomb, which we would call Sunday, and the Bible states it as the first day of the week. Mary stopped weeping. She was filled with joy and rejoicing because Jesus had risen as he said he would. And he gave them a message, go and tell the disciples to meet me in Galilee. And the beautiful thing here is he mentioned and Peter. So of course Peter was probably racked with remorse. And then as it says here, Peter was not forgotten by Christ. Who of you cannot wait to hear your name mentioned? In a good way, of course. Just imagine, here is my son, or here is my daughter, in whom I am well pleased. Have a blessed Sabbath.